go people, Makkuro here, and today I have another review for you. This time it's a Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT, so may add also the 8 there. However, it's the first SUV, a proper SUV in the game. That's quite something, and I have to say that after looking at it for a bit, it's quite very decently modeled. If you look closer, those are Brembo brakes. The whole detailing of the car is pretty damn well made, and there's a small camera in the front bumper at the bottom thing you can see at the very middle. Something nice touch. Anyway, it comes here with your typical American speed system setup. Costs 5,900 speed, and yes, it starts at A class 650 overall. However, it also comes with black tint. Yeah, and for an SUV, it looks quite nice. Now, aftermarket shop, it has no body kits, no hoods, and it has a typical setup of spoilers with the no spoiler option working tremendously well. Now, please. Sorry, but what the fuck is that? Is that called a spoiler? It's such a puny little tiny thing on a big SUV. I mean, seriously. You would think that devs cared about this car, but that just proves they didn't. Anyway, it's time for races. And races we do have, and we do have with quite some opponents. Meaning your typical A-class in-game cash cavalry. And it has something weaker than a Cosmic NOS, more stronger than your typical Audi NOS level, but it's hard to describe this car when it comes stock. It's stock right now, just as you saw. It's a 650 overall, American speed system, street tuned. The handling is grippy, it corners very well, but it's flobby. It's very flobby. It's strange, and it gives off a not nice feeling. It's like saying no. You're driving and everything is fine, but there's just some feeling that says I don't like you. I don't. It's very not nice feeling. However, there will be a lot of races, so let's move on quickly through this one, and we end with a time of nearly 3 minutes, completely irrelevant time. At stock, useless. Now, some fans of mine may be quite cross, but here, right now, that Cherokee is the Teenage Transporter, yes, also known as OB, and however you call him. And yeah, recently I had a talk with him on Facebook and in the game, and he seems pretty much, well, normal and no longer an ass licker, as he is pretty much wide known to be, you know, the biggest EA ass licker out there. But like I said, he pretty much he seems no longer to be one. He seems to be redeemed, wants to redeem himself, and well, he has a lot of bad reputation to fix. However, I believe everyone needs a second chance, so you know, check out his channel. The link is somewhere in the description. There is also some annotation will be here and there about his channel, but don't look at his older videos because they are massively, I mean massively biased. Newest ones can be quite good, but otherwise it's just biased to the impossible amounts. Anyway, back to the car, and the sound of this car is pretty much like a Corvette CLE when stock, which is actually a good thing because I like the Corvette CLE sound. Now, the flobbiness of this car is really annoying, and on stock is pretty much nothing nice. Yeah, as you can see, its acceleration is just bullshit. It has no power to keep its speed on the corners at this point, and just useless. And as you can see, he got a 726 overall Grand Cherokee, and just went off in front of me. So that it seems like this car is quite a tunable car, and in fact it is. As you can see, 726 overall from the Teenage Transporter Jeep Cherokee, and I've put mine to a 730 overall. The TTT dead that as well. Yeah, no, most of the people will be probably annoyed by it, yeah. Anyway, as you can see, your typical. Also, this car without parts is at 565 overall. That means B class. Yeah, nice. Now, Iron Horse and Coast A class track. Oh, I've driven this truck today and this week so many times I'm almost sick of it, but we have to do it anyway. So, as you can see, after tuning, this car has very powerful cosmic NOS. I mean, massively powerful cosmic NOS when it's tuned. Without tune, it's just a stronger Audi NOS, but when tuned, it's a really decent thing. However, even after tuning, this car still lacks acceleration and, what's most important, power. Now, power is important because power allows you to keep speed in the corners. If you have a lot of grip but you don't have power, you just will be able, the car can do that corner at 300 km per hour, but your car can only uphold speeds up to 200 km per hour and you're fucked. And that's what power means. Power is, the byproduct of power and amount of brake horsepower is the full acceleration, but the cornering speed is about grip and power. This car has grip but has no power. That's it. That's the problem of this car. Top speed, don't even bothering on them. You're never gonna reach it. However, the grip is truly amazing, and after you put some parts on it, the car becomes more stable, no longer floppy. It becomes a bit more like a Nismo, but a bit heavier, sturdier, maybe not stiffer, but it has better cornering radius than a Nismo and becomes more responsive, more twitchy, but still not very twitchy. But it gets a bit of a laggy like steering, just what you can find on Lexus LFA, which I personally do enjoy that kind of thing. And the overall car, after you tune it, ultra tune it, pro tune it, becomes more likable. It no longer has that I don't like you feeling. It gets interesting, and as you can see, the TTT is way off back there where he is. Seems he doesn't know the lines for this track. Well, not blaming this track is pretty strange because it just takes you back to your basics, and most people forgot about basics. I mean, this track is really basics of basics on the most basic level, and yeah. Anyway, as you can see, we're nearing. I did here a 2 minute 34 seconds with Nismo, and this one is, well, it could be 1.5 seconds faster, so it's about 10 seconds slower than a Nismo. That's what this car is on this track. 10 seconds slower with perfect start. Now, I've put it against some cars that are similar to it, meaning 1M Hammer, and on the lower right you have a Team Escape, which will later be resumed on, but as you notice, this is the Garden Boulevard, the traffic infested track, one of the more infested. Heritage Heights is still the undisputable king when it comes to amount of traffic, but as you can see, the Hammer stays way at the back. The Cherokee and 1M are head to head up to this point, but however, from this point on, the 1M, Cherokee seems to get ahead, but 1M, because of its better acceleration and actually better cornering at some points, gets ahead. And the acceleration of 1M is pulling that car on to the victory. Also, a nice thing about the Jeep, it can reach S class. Yes, you heard it well, it can reach it. Yeah. Anyway, as you can see, you're ending with 1M being just a bit better than Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now, Team Escape wise, this car is strange. as it is overall is a strange car, but it's, I mean, it's very agile, that has to be said. It's very agile. It doesn't have much acceleration, but it doesn't have also a lot of ramming power. It loses speed when ramming a lot, but it sticks to the ground, meaning when you hit things, normally your car starts to bump off, the front goes up, you know, you're no longer keeping to the ground, you get up. With this car, however, you keep to the ground no matter what you hit. That is a very, very, very good thing. However, whenever you hit something, you're pretty much like dead. Zero. Nothing. But there is a salvation, because here I use a Juggernaut, and Juggernaut is pretty much like in olden times 150% RAM. In V4 and V5 of this game, you could have RAM skill that give you 150%, and with cars that didn't have, it was like using a Juggernaut. That's what that thing did pretty much. Now this car, when using Juggernaut, it's like you don't feel anything. It's the performance increase in ramming aspect of this car when you use the Juggernaut is immense. So that leads me to think that this car may actually, if you put RAM skill mods, those skill mods will have a bigger effect on this car than they would on any other normal car. They just increase that ramming ability much better. As you can see, this just goes easily. So try RAM skill mods. Maybe they will work brilliantly. Now I also had to test the top speed of this car, and the top speed is 325 km per hour at 30 km per hour if you want to know the NOS top speed. Simple as that. Now the conclusion time. And the conclusion of this car is strange, because this car is like a idiotic cousin of an Nismo. It's increasing its performance when you put parts massively, but just not where it's supposed to be. It doesn't increase its acceleration pretty much at all. However, its handling improves, its nose power improves, and its ramming abilities also most probably improves when you put RAM skill mods more than on other cars. And the whole thing is just strange, because if you don't put any care to this car, meaning no parts, no skill mods, it's just gonna be not likable. You won't like it. But when you ultra tune, pro tune it, it's a likable car. It's a very nice car to just drive around, do races and team escapes in it. Very likable. But when also, this is an SUV, first SUV in this game, make it black, and it's a mafia car. Mafia car, and that means we can finally do some mafia chases and escapes in this game, and in the game in which every single new idea is like a real gift. It's a lot. So if you like this, please like, comment, share, maybe also subscribe to me. Also, the donations of any kind of amount will be much appreciated. The link to that is in the description. And that will be all from me, so thanks for watching, and see ya!